After a one-year absence, the state high school baseball tournament is back. 3 of the 4 quarterfinal games are in the books in Class 4A. One semifinal is still to be determined. It's the Section 6 champion Hopkins Royals against the Section 7 champion and number 3 seed Andover Huskies, and it's next on CCX. Picture-perfect evening at a classic ballpark, Chaska Athletic Park, for the State Class 4A baseball quarterfinal as Hopkins, with a record of 16-8, taking on first-time entrant and 21-4 Andover Huskies. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Drew Keogh as we bring you tonight's game here. As you see, much cooler than it was for the section finals for these teams a week ago, and an exciting time for Andover. Drew getting their first opportunity into the state tournament. More and more in various sports, you're seeing their name pop up in state tournaments, and now it's the baseball team's first try. Yeah, you just heard a loud roar from the Andover crowd. They're excited to be here. Good crowd in the grandstand as well. A lot of tradition at this ballpark. Attention to detail to take care of the field, make sure the lines are right, the bases are clean, fresh paint on home plate. Just a great ballpark and great experience. And as you were saying, for Andover, good experience for them to be here at state, but they're not just happy to be here. They've had a great season. They're looking to continue that, but Hopkins has a really powerful lineup, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out tonight. Now, Royals were in the tournament the last time it was held in 2019, and making their 10th appearance overall, and they'd kind of like to become a regular visitor, and obviously they got some other good teams in their section that have something to say about that as well. But I thought they played really well in the section tournament. Obviously 8 losses. It hasn't been all smooth sailing for the Royals, but they looked sharp in those games. We had a chance to televise a couple of their games, and you know, they were clearly the team playing the best ball at the end of the season in that section tournament, even though there were some other good teams with St. Louis Park and Wayzata and Maple Grove and teams like that in their section. Yeah, when it comes to high school baseball, I really don't pay too much attention to regular season stats, because that's when you're trying to figure out what your team is made of and how you build a team for the playoffs. Andover started off a little slow, a 3-2 start in the regular season, and they rattled off quite a series of wins, had a tough section, but pulled it off against Forest Lake. But in that section tournament for Hopkins, they just kind of steamrolled. They were hitting the ball really well, had solid pitching when they needed it to. Some of their pitching wasn't as consistent as they were hoping, but when they needed to throw strikes and get outs, they were able to do that in one of the tougher sections in the state, and they prevailed. Different venue this year, and I think first and foremost it was COVID related, but it sounds like there's a possibility that we might see smaller venues for some of the state tournaments. Obviously, it's been fairly well noted that the high school league financially hasn't been where they want to be. So, but I don't know. There's a lot to be said for playing in such a good, small, classic park like this, too. I think, you know, I got 2 boys at home that are really starting to get into baseball. You know, who knows if they'll be good at it, but they love going and they love watching and they love playing. And coming to an environment like this really is an experience. It's something that, you know, CHS was a great experience. Target Field is great because the Twins play there, right? And there's a lot of events to go there. But it's a big budget item. It's a lot of logistics, a lot of red tape to make that happen. But to come to Chaska, these people live and breathe baseball here. They love welcoming tournaments like this. And to host Hopkins and Andover today, you know, Chaska is very open and welcoming to that. And they want to show off their facility. Yeah, it's old, but that's what makes this place special. You look at the walls, and, you know, they got the record water levels from 1965 and 1993. They got all state baseball prints down in the hallways. They got little plaques for all the players that played in the Lions All-Star game and went on to the Major League Baseball levels. And it's just a fantastic experience and a good start to the summer, because
once the state baseball tournament's over, a lot of these kids go on to play, and a lot of town baseball games get played here and other venues throughout the state. And going out to amateur baseball tournaments and just regular season games is a lot of fun, whether it's Cold Spring, Delano, Chaska, to get out of the city and come and experience this kind of small town baseball environment is really a fun opportunity.
Had 3 pretty close games here in the quarterfinals in 4A, starting with the 8-inning game in the first one, and top seed Stillwater gets knocked off by Minnetonka 6-5. And again, seeding in the baseball tournament, I think, means less than in many of the sports. I mean, you see quote-unquote upsets quite a bit. And the game that just ended before ours here, Park, the number 2 seed, did beat Rogers in a shutout, and then it was Farmington with a 1-0 win over a very good Mounds View club. So there's the semifinals. We do not have consolation this year, another COVID-related thing, and we'll see who goes on to take on Park in the semifinals. Hopkins is the visitor, so they were unseeded, so they will be the visiting team here in this one. Jake Perry will lead it off, their third baseman, then Jack Mauser in left field. Ryan Mcgee, the pitcher, hits third. Brock Zimmer at first base. Maddox Michalakis at shortstop. Jack Primusberger at second base. Luke Nordine, catcher. Americo Scolati in right field hits eighth, and Jackson View, the center fielder, hitting in the number 9 slot for the Royals and Jason Michalakis. And then for Pete Anderson and the Huskies defensively, it's Logan Gravink at third, Carson Waddell at short, Noah D'Agostino at second base, Ryan Coltis at first, Davis Goman, Kyle Law, and Max Hunter across the outfield. Logan Myers is the catcher. And this is an interesting one. Starting on the mound today for Andover is a freshman.
Wow.
Anthony Pardo, you see he's got a 5-0 record coming in. They're got to show a lot of confidence in a guy so young to be putting him out here in their very first state tournament game, Drew. And it'll be interesting to see, if he's handles the pressure well or how things go for him.
Yeah, good stat line there you saw for the starting pitcher, but to come out here as a freshman, a lot of nerves, a lot of anxiety maybe, but that's something that a program like Andover can build around. They're playing for today, but they're also playing for the next 3-4 years and beyond as he tries to build the tradition here at Andover for baseball.
Perry drives one out to deep center field, and that one bounce to the fence. Perry digging into second, and he will have to hold up there. A leadoff double for Hopkins' Jake Perry as the Royals get things started in style. And this is kind of a continuation of how they've been hitting the ball late in the season here, Drew. As a section tournament, they were pretty much stinging it against everybody they played.
I tell you what, this Hopkins lineup, if they're able to lay off breaking balls or make decent contact on breaking balls, they can wait for those fastballs. And if they get fastballs, this team has shown that they can really drive them out of the park if they really square them up.
Jack Mauser's been another very hot hitter, hitting .467. 7 doubles, a triple, 4 home runs to his credit. He had a couple of homers in our TV games in the 2 that we did in sections.
Yeah, his OBP slugging and all that stuff are through the roof. He's had some really good games late here in the late season.
Breaking ball over from Pardo there for strike 1. It's a ball and a strike here. Perry aboard at second to start the ball game for Hopkins. He came in hitting .408. And as a Gopher recruit. Outside with that one to Mauser. Ryan Mcgee waiting on deck here for Hopkins. And that one misses from Pardo, so 3 balls and a strike.
You want to give in and give him something easy to hit down the middle of the plate because he's shown that he can really hit the ball hard. So you want to find those corners if you can.
Had a big cut but didn't get it, so now the count running full. It's safe to say there's going to be jitters for everybody on both these teams. Little one off the fist, and that's going to be handled easily there. at first base by Coltis, so Mauser is out. Pardo comes back after falling down 3-1 to get a really good hitter there, jammed him, and not very heavy contact on that one. A pretty easy play for the first baseman, Coltis, there.
Yeah, nice job pitching to get that out. He had him kind of tied up in a couple inside swings and got him to fist that one out to first base.
Here's Ryan Mcgee, who's hitting .433. He's got 7 homers, 18 runs batted in, and waved at that one for strike one. Mcgee, of course, will be on the hill for the Royals when we get to the bottom half of the inning.
Big cut there by him, but swung right over that breaking ball.
There's strike two.
Yeah, that mention about the fastballs of the Hopkins team goes back to the first time I saw him play. I saw Perry go up to the mound or go up and take a couple of pitches and kind of weak fly ball, and he went back to his lineup and said, hey, wait on that fastball and get a good fastball to hit, and then they started hitting the ball really well.
Missed with that one, so 1-2 here to Mcgee. Perry still on second, now 1 out. Brock Zimmer, the on-deck hitter for Hopkins, as they try and get things started here in the top of the first. Missed inside. I think just in general, you get to the state tournament, a lot of times strike zones aren't all that big. You're seeing maybe earlier in the year some pitches that possibly might be called strikes. They're figuring that these are the elite teams and we're going to make you throw it over the plate. Cut and a miss, and Mcgee down on strikes again. Coming with the breaking ball there, and Pardo, after giving up a long, loud double to start the game, has come back with a couple of nice at-bats here, and that's a nasty pitch.
Yeah, a nice breaking ball on the inside part of the plate, and that's where you want to throw it, so it's almost impossible for that hitter to hit unless they get around and find out where that breaking ball is going to be, but that's tough to do with a good breaking ball.
Brock Zimmer, the hitter, he's hitting .333, couple of doubles, 2 triples, 2 home runs, 17 runs batted in. That's a little chopper foul.
Yeah, they're not picking up that breaking ball just yet. It seems like on the right-handed hitters, they've kind of been pulling in their bat a little, trying to get around on it, expecting a fastball, but they're not able to see that breaking ball yet.
I wonder if we're going to start to think shadows might be a little bit of an impact, depending on, early in this game. Ooh, looked pretty good from here, but taken for a ball.
Yeah, it was a good pitch, but right at the knees, didn't get the call. You just got to get that ball out to the pitcher and don't show up the umpire there. Long game. Yeah, but you're right. The shadow's right there at home plate. It's going to start to kind of creep out towards the infield.
Missed again with the breaking ball. And Jason Michalakis, the Hopkins coach, said he's played here a number of times in town ball. And he said occasionally as a fielder, the grandstand, sometimes you can lose sight of the ball a little bit in the background of the shirts and stuff. Obviously, most of the field, there's a swing and a miss at a fastball. Zimmer down on strikes, and Pardo comes back strong after giving up a leadoff double. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and they leave Perry stranded at second. As you see, came back and threw the heat past him there as Zimmer strikes out. So after a half an inning, Hopkins held scoreless, and Andover will get their first chance with the bats. They will have their shortstop, Carson Waddell, leading things off, and then it'll be Kyle Law, the center fielder, Max Hunter in right, Logan Gravink at third base, Logan Myers, the catcher, will hit 5th. Then it's the pitcher, Pardo, Coltis at first base, Goman in left, and D'Agostino, the second baseman, hitting in the number 9 slot for the Huskies. And then for Hopkins defensively, Perry, Michalakis, Primusberger, Zimmer. You're on the infield with Mauser, View, and Scarlatti in the outfield. Nordine catching and doing the pitching for Hopkins is righty Ryan Mcgee. Got a record of 5-1 and a 1.30 earned run average. He's walked 16, fanned 56 in 48 and a third.
Yeah, he's had a great season, and if he can get some offensive support and get some runs on the board, he knows he can throw And going back to what I said earlier in the broadcast and pregame is just coming out here, the experience. You know, you got the concession stand. It seems like things are back to normal. Hopkins is in the state tournament. It's nice out. You got the concession stand open. Just a fun atmosphere, fun experience here.
Yeah, it maybe doesn't inspire awe as much as like CHS Field or Target Field, certainly, but it's just got that baseball feel to it for sure. Knocked down to second. Oh, and Mcgee is late getting over there, and Primusburg unable to come up with it. Carson Waddell will be aboard on the error. Even if this one was fielded cleanly, there was going to be a problem because nobody was covering first right away. The little slow Mcgee to come over there. I don't think he realized that Zimmer wasn't there. And getting in there safely, it will be an error on the second baseman, but Waddell is aboard.
Yeah, not a really hard hit ball, and you know Hopkins is going to have to adjust to this infield, a well manicured field, but the infield is not going to be nearly as fast as that artificial turf that they play on at Lindbergh.
Kyle Law, the hitter now, a .400 average for him. 5 doubles, a triple, 3 home runs. He's knocked in 15, and he's also stolen 22 bases if that becomes an issue where he's got an opportunity to do that. A very good athlete out there in center. Taken 4 a ball, and I talked to Coach McLaughlin about that. I said, you know, did you find some practice time on grass field? And he said, yeah, we kind of thought about it, but I didn't want to get it in the kid's head too much that it was something real different that you had to be worried about.
Yeah, you definitely start to really overthink those things if your coach is trying to set you up for things, but you just want to react.
Law hard, one hopper out to the center fielder. So first 2 batters aboard for the Huskies, one on an error and then a solid line drive single. And so if either pitcher thought they were going to just skate through, I think they both found out early that we got some pretty good hitters in these lineups too.
Yeah, just like you were saying with the pitching, you know, you're going to have a pretty tight strike zone for pitchers here. You're also going to see some of the best hitting in the state as well at this level for the state tournament.
Max Hunter's hitting .341 for the Huskies, 6 doubles, 1 triple, 1 home run. He's knocked in 18, and he's got an early RBI opportunity here. Nobody out, and 2 runners on here for Andover in the bottom half of the first. There's a strike. Mcgee and Jackson View have been kind of the go-to guys on the mound this year for Hopkins. View started in that section final, actually struggled quite a bit, but ended up being a part of the winning team, although he didn't get the win in that one. But Coach was telling us that it was very, very hot that day, and he was having trouble gripping the ball. I mean, it sounds simple, but it was so wet his hands were, and just having trouble really getting a good feel for it.
Yeah, and those hot, humid days when there's no breeze, you know, that sweat doesn't really go away. And if you don't have any like spider tack out there, isn't that what they're using these days, the major league players? So if you don't have any grip, you don't have rosin or anything out there to get a grip on the ball, it's really hard to find consistent accuracy and throw strikes.
3-1 here to Hunter, and he pops it up. Nordine over, struggling with it, and it's going to be foul. Oh, wow. Nordine just could not find it, and neither the first or third baseman were quite able to get there, although I think if they had realized that he couldn't see it, they might have come a little bit harder for this one. Then the question becomes, is this almost going to be a fair ball?
Yeah, I think he just overran.
No, it was quite a bit foul.
He overran.
From our vantage point, I thought it was a little bit closer than that. So full count here to Hunter. Hunter driving one out to center field, but it's going to hang up enough. And View able to make the catch. Waddell tags from second to third on the play on the long fly out by Hunter. Law stays put at first base. And Logan Gravink will be the batter here for Andover. So it isn't out, but at the same time, Mcgee's probably kind of thinking, that guy hit that ball pretty hard off me right there.
Yeah, after seeing his catcher not be able to get that out earlier, the next pitch drives one to deep right center field. Nice play by the center field here, quickly turns it in. to get it to the infield to keep that runner from first advancing down to second base, but good base running down there to tag up at second down to third.
There's a strike to Gravink. He's hitting .410 for Andover, a couple of doubles, a triple. He has driven in a team-high 20 runs.
Be interesting to see if they put the runner in motion here with good speed at first base, the runner on third. Do anything you can to get that first run across the plate.
He is going, swing and a miss, and Hopkins will not make a throw on Laws. He'll take second. Yeah, I was pretty convinced they would there. Not, you know, you also stay out of the force play and the double play there, besides possibly drawing a throw there.
Yeah, now anything not hit at third base is probably going to bring in that first run for Andover.
Here we go to first, and they're going to come home, and way late with it is Zimmer, and it gets away. 2 runs will score on the play, and Andover goes up 2-0. Not really the greatest decision there, I don't think, for Zimmer. Even if he fields that ball cleanly, I'm not too sure they're going to get an out there.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a mound visitor just to make sure everybody, hey, calm down, relax. He double clutched the ball and threw it down in the dirt and wasn't able to get a good throw to the catcher to allow that second run come in. But I think the safe play there is to, hey, get that first out so you get yourself in a position of one more out, get out of this inning. But see, he didn't come up clean with it and then threw it a little wild.
So 2 errors already in the first 4 batters. And maybe our talk about playing on grass instead of that turf is a little closer to reality than what Coach wanted to believe here. As he said, I feel like we have one of the best defensive infields in the state, and he said, but admittedly, they're used to playing in a field where you don't see any bad hops either.
Well, yeah, and it's a mental thing. It's practice, and things happen so quick when you're in the field, and you don't really think it's just an automatic mental reaction. When the ball goes from grass to the dirt, it's a different feel, it's a different reaction than it is when it's on turf consistently.
Logan Meyer's the batter now for Andover. He's hitting .339. He's also walked 9 times. 7 doubles, a triple, a couple of home runs. Chance to drive in another. They already lead at 2-0. And Nordine had to block that pitch in the dirt, so kind of a shaky start here for the Royals.
Going back to that, that ball to the first baseman, if he just takes that ball and gets out at first base, he's got 2 outs with the runner on third, and you're only down 1-0 at that time. Now you still got a lot of work left to get out of this inning.
Yeah, I think even if he fielded that ball clean, I don't know. I'm not too sure they would have had him. And then once he juggled it, he definitely shouldn't have gone home.
Yeah.
Nordine kind of telling Mcgee, you got to settle down a little bit, trying to overthrow that one a little bit. 3 balls, no strikes now to Myers.
Yeah, you could see McGee's frustration there after he threw that one. He looked over at first base, trying not to focus on where that ball went and just put it behind him. And you just got to focus in and get in a routine, get in a groove, and throwing strikes.
That one right over for strike 1 here. 3-1 to Myers. Fouls this one back, so now full count. To a certain extent, you'd like to say it's just, it's just baseball. It's another game. You played a long time. You know what to do out there, but that's not really reality.
Not at this level.
Yeah, for these kids to be in this tournament, there's got to be some jitters.
Friends are talking about it. Families are excited, coming to town, watching the game.
Lifted out to short left field. Mikalakis, the shortstop, going back, and he will make the catch for out number 2. Again, Sun, I think, could definitely be an issue for the left side right there. He seemed to handle it okay there, but we saw in the game right before this. Of course, it changes kind of minute by minute as the sun starts to set, but there were definitely some issues for defensive players in the Rogers Park game.
Yeah, and it's a new field. These guys haven't played here that much, if they played here at all. Adjusting to the angle of the ball coming off the bat and trying to adapt to where the sun is at that time of the day is something new for all these guys.
There's a strike to Pardo, the pitcher, or DH officially. You can be the DH and stay in the game even if you come out of pitching. Hasn't batted that much this year. 17 at bats. He's hitting .294. Does have 1 home run. 4 runs batted in. So an 0-2 count here as Mcgee tries to work out of trouble and keep it at a 2-run first inning. And a cut and a miss, and Pardo down on strike. So Mcgee battles back. A little shaky D in that first for Hopkins. The Huskies get 2 runs, 1 hit. There were 2 costly errors and 1 left aboard. After an inning, it is 2-0 Andover here on CCX.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
Welcome back here to beautiful Chaska Athletic Park. Andover 2 and Hopkins 0 as we head to the top of the second. Hopkins will have their 5, 6, 7 hitters, Maddox Michalakis, Jack Primusberger, and Luke Nordin as they try and battle back from this early deficit. Hopkins, it seemed like it started out well when Perry boomed a double to begin the top of the first, but then Pardo got a pop-up and a pair of strikeouts, and meanwhile Andover had some help from the Royals defense. It started out error, then single, then long fly out, and another error. Scored those first 2 runs. So Michalakis will be the hitter for Hopkins.
Yeah, a bit of a sloppy start there for Hopkins, but able to get out of that first inning, only down 2-0. Not as bad as it could have been.
Michalakis hitting .275 this year, 5 doubles, 3 home runs, including one that we saw in that section final win over St. Louis Park. Knocks it down to first. Coltis does a nice job to get to that one before it could take another short hop on him, and wins the race to the bag easily there. 1 out here in the second, and Jack Primusberger will be the hitter.
Yeah, there's a saying, you don't want the ball to play you or the ball to eat you up. You want to attack it and catch it as soon as possible so you don't put yourself in a position to take a bad hop or anything, and that's what he did there as he scooped that up and got that first out.
Yeah, it really was a nice read, because if that one gets like another half step, it's going to be kind of a short hop and a little in between and become a tough play. Primusberger's hitting .333. 23 base hits and 69 at bats. Fouls that one back. 5 doubles, a couple of triples to his credit. 21 runs scored. Hopkins definitely has some hitters in their lineup, so I don't mean to say that they're okay with falling behind early, but in general, they're a team that's been able to score some runs.
And going back to that mound meeting after giving up that runner in the bottom of the first there, I think that's what it was, is, hey, let's play some solid defense. Let's put this behind us. We're not getting in this game with 0 runs. Let's try and get out of here and get some hits.
And a called third strike. Primusberger didn't seem to like that one, but he does not get a vote, and that's the 3rd strikeout for Pardo.
Yeah, nice tall breaking ball. Ends up a little high in the zone, but I think that's close enough where you got to protect the plate.
So Luke Nordin will be the batter here for Hopkins. Hitting .311 this year, a couple of home runs, 9 runs batted in. Takes that one down low.
And I think in the few games that I've worked with you guys in the Hopkins games, as I've said, the top half of this order is really potent and dominating. But even at the bottom half, I mean, that's just, they have solid hitters and they can get people on base.
Tough chance here, and Coltis able to dig it out as Gravink had to come a long way for that one. But it's a 1-2-3 inning for Pardo and the Huskies. No runs, no hits, and no one left for Hopkins in the second. As we go to the bottom of 2, it's 2-0 Andover.
Emotes say a lot, but they can't say it all. Think your guildmate is struggling? Try these dialogue options. bond emotes. Check in with your guildmates at seizetheawkward.org.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Welcome back here as Andover leading Hopkins by a score of 2-0. And video for tonight brought to us by Quad Cities TV, our partner in working this game. They cover the Andover and Anoka and Champlin and Ramsey areas there in the northern suburbs. So not enough room really for both to have full crews here. So we got a combined production, and we thank them for the pictures for tonight's game. So Mcgee out there loosening up, Drew, and I don't think he pitched poorly as much as their D let him down in that first inning, to be honest. But either way, you try and bounce back and just forget about it and shake it off. Yeah,
it's a mental game at this level a lot of the times. And if you're pitching, you got to put that stuff behind you and get back to what you did throughout the season. Throw strikes, and depend on your defense to get the outs. And, you know, they may not have done it as efficiently as he's seen earlier in the year as they should have in the first inning, but, you know, got to have faith in them, got to have trust, and that's what's gotten you this far into the season.
Ryan Coltis, the batter for Andover. He's hitting .301, and he scorches that one down the line. It's a fair ball and should be at least 2. Juggled a little bit out there, but he was going to be in easily with 2 anyway. Ryan Coltis leading off the second with a double. And Andover continues to put base runners aboard here. This one, a clean shot down that third base line. No chance to get to that one.
Yeah, the Huskies staying aggressive at the plate, trying to jump on these pitches by Mcgee and get base runners on early in the count.
Davis Goman, the batter, he's hitting .364. 1 triple to his credit, 5 runs batted in, and he'll be aboard. Wow.
Not what you expect. You know, you were hoping Mcgee would come out here and settle in and find a comfort zone and throw strikes, but not what we've seen here in the first 2 batters.
You come up hoping to get a hit and instead get plunked in the shoulder blade there, but it didn't seem to hurt him. He's aboard. And Noah D'Agostino will be the batter now for Andover. Noah's hitting .246, 14 runs batted in.
I'm going to say the corner is moving in pretty far and anticipating a bunt there. It's part of the lineup. You're trying to turn it over and get the leadoff hitter to come up and get runners at second and third with 1 out. You're in a good spot if you're Andover, if you can execute on that.
See if the bunt sign will still be on here for Noah. It was not that time, and he takes it for a ball. It's always that interesting. I mean, it goes to somewhat how much confidence you have to get a bunt down, but I always feel like as a coach, you don't want to reward a guy for missing a bunt and say, okay, go ahead and swing then. But at the same time, you have to be cognizant of, you know, how much the defense is expecting it now and whether you felt like he had a legitimate shot to put the ball down or not.
Yeah, because you go through these drills usually in batting practice, your first few swings or your first few pitches, you laid out a bunt, and you know who's able to bunt well, and maybe he doesn't feel confident, or maybe he feels like after that first attempt, let's not risk it and let's put the bat in play here.
And he's going to drive that one out to right field for a hit. Should score a run. No, they're going to hold him up. And that one will come all the way in. So the bases are loaded up now for Andover as D'Agostino delivering a single after failing to get the bunt down on the first pitch. They elected to not be real aggressive there and keep Coltis at third on the play. I spoke a little too soon. I really thought this one was going to score this runner.
Yeah, I think they had a chance. I think the run would have scored, but they didn't want to make an out at home plate, keep the bases loaded with the top of the lineup here. With a chance to have a huge inning and not let Hopkins get any momentum by trying to get that out at home plate.
So Carson Waddell comes up. He reached on an error and scored in the first. Takes that one outside for a ball.
Pretty decent amount of room behind home plate, so anything to the backstop should score a run. But that brick backstop, if the ball hits that hard, it might bounce back too.
Fouled away, and I have to admit I haven't been here in a few years, and that's new. I've not seen that before.
Yeah, I think it used to be a green pad.
Yeah, over wood.
Yep. Hopkins has somebody warming up down in the bullpen already.
And speaking of one in the dirt, but Nordine getting that chest protector down to smother that one.
And a little different approach here in the state tournament, because in the section tournament, you have that loser's bracket. You have a chance to come back through. If you lose that first game, you have a chance to come back and face that team again. Here in the state tournament, it's winner moves on.
And this one driven out to left center, and that one's going to be down for a hit. It'll score a pair. So Waddell coming through with a 2-run single for the Huskies, and they have jumped on Hopkins early here for a 4-0 lead.
Yeah, good solid swing at a ball down in the zone, drove it to left center field. Ball's down, runners could see that ball was not going to be caught, so they look at their base coaches and easily advance to the next base.
D'Agostino kind of had to watch what was in front of him there, so he, holding on there at second. Again, not really taking any chances. Here's Kyle Law, the hitter now for Andover. And he smoked a line drive single his first time up, and you see, scored their second run. There's a strike.
Yeah, impressive start here by this Andover team in their first state tournament appearance, and the crowd is really excited and pumped up, and a lot of them sitting right around us, so it sounds very fun and exciting around here for Andover.
To short center, Reimusberger, the second baseman, going back, and he'll end up making the catch. More often than not, you'd see the center fielder call him off on that play, but Reimusberger had it measured and will make the catch for the first out. No chance to tag there, so Max Hunter will bat now for Andover.
Yeah, ball not deep enough for the runner to tag up, so I think it's okay if the second baseman continues to track that ball. If it's a little deeper, you want to see the outfielders call them off so they have a better chance to get the runner tagging up from second to third, but not deep enough there to worry about that scenario.
Hunter hit the ball well, but flied out to center his first time up and takes ball one.
If you're Hopkins, you want to get something down on the ground in the dirt and hopefully into one of your infielders to get at least one out on this play. And if you can get a double play, you get out of here without too much damage.
Fastball over for a strike, and it's 1-1. And there's strike two. Andover trying to build on a 4-0 lead. They scored 2 in the first and so far have 2 in the second. Just got a piece of that one. Hunter staying alive.
Yeah, really good chance here for Andover to break this one open early in the game, but if you're Hopkins, you want to just continue getting outs as quick as possible without too much damage. Even if you give up one run and get out here down 5-0, that's not all too bad.
Lifted to deep right. It's going to stay in the park easily, though. Scolati will come up with it. And the runners did not tag on the play. I think they actually were running from second, so D'Agostino had to come back. And no chance to really tag up on that one. So 2 gone, and Gravink will be the hitter.
Yeah, I think they were in motion, and that's why you didn't see the runner from second tagging up. But I think you'd still like to see them hustle back right on that swing. You want to look at your coach, get your head up, and hustle back to second. And Hopkins gets out of the inning likely here.
Gravink popping one up as well. Mikalakis, the shortstop, will go back to make the catch. So another good inning, though, for Andover as they come up with 2 runs in the inning on 3 base hits. No errors this time, and they leave a couple after 2 complete. It's Huskies 4, Royals nothing.
STEM is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Welcome back. Some of the Hopkins fans there in the grandstand in the shade, and actually it's not been nearly as hot as what these teams had to go through in their section tournaments, and a really beautiful evening to be either in the grandstand there or out along the first and third baselines as well. We got some bleachers and some seats and fans out here enjoying this one. Safe to say if you're wearing an A, though, you're enjoying it a little more than the people wearing the H's, at least so far.
Yeah, it's been a good start for this Andover program, and hitching their wagon to this freshman pitcher has been a good start. He's gotten past a really good lineup thus far. We'll see what happens second time through the order once they turn this lineup over.
Scarlatti, the batter for Hopkins. He's hitting .216 this year. 1 double, 5 runs batted in. Had a really nice catch in that section final, which, by the way, is one of our candidates for CCX Sports Play of the Week, as he came in and made a sliding grab in right.
Do remember that. Nice play.
Rip and a miss here. Well, Pardo didn't seem to let that, first solid double to begin the game really bother him, has he?
Yeah, and I'm sure he's heard that this Hopkins lineup can hit, and to be able to, get past that leadoff double has been a huge confidence booster for him. And, that's what you want for these younger players, and especially for a freshman to go out there and try and lead this Andover program in their state tournament appearance here is really promising for that program.
And a cut and a miss at a breaking ball there. That is his 4th strikeout already. And we're seeing evidence of why they felt good about putting him out there in their game 1.
Yeah, he's got a really good looking curveball, nice 12-6 breaking ball. That's really hard to pick up. Starts up high and drops down low. It's hard to hit.
Yeah, that's a good look from that center field shot of just how much it breaks. Jackson View, the batter now for Hopkins. View hitting .200 this year. He's had 30 at-bats, 6 base hits, 8 runs scored, 4 driven in, and a rip and a miss here. And View would be the second option as a pitcher probably for them, if they should advance, but also if they're needing one in tonight's game. Obviously, you can't count on advancing when you're trailing like this.
Yeah, you can't plan too far ahead. You got to focus on this game, and first run here is priority for Hopkins. You want to do anything you can to get that first run on the board, and then you build from there.
Fouls this one back.
50 cents per ball return to the. Might go get some peanuts if I get that one.
It would be kind of funny to see you like running over a little 6-year-old or something.
I'll wrestle a little guy for a ball. A cup of peanuts here.
Ooh, another nasty breaking ball from Pardo, and View will head back to the dugout shaking his head. So 2 up, 2 strikeouts for Pardo in the 3rd, and Jake Perry will be the hitter.
Yeah, good pitching sequence here, and great start for that young man. And now here's where the challenge really starts to pick up. The second time through this Hopkins order is going to be a little more difficult, and let's just start here by focusing on one of the better hitters in the state.
Perry, the only Hopkins guy to make solid contact. He drove one on 1 hop to the fence near the 390 sign in center. So it started out with a long, loud double, but not much sense for Hopkins. You talked about it earlier, though. I think Perry, as much as any of their guys, is able to just kind of discard the ones he doesn't want and then wait for something he can attack. Pops this one up, foul and out of play.
And that all comes with practice and repetition. You kind of anticipate based on the pitch count and the pitcher's confidence in throwing whatever pitches, but you would expect a breaking ball here, and if he sees it, he's going to try and drive it. If it's anything else, he tries to protect the plate.
Ooh, comes fastball there. Did not find the strike zone though. 2-2.
This Perry guy, he does some things that I've seen. You just watch him play, and it's just the little fundamentals that stick out. He made a play at St. Louis Park and got the third out of one of the innings earlier in the season, and he did the decoy where the ball was not coming. The runner kind of let up, caught the ball at the last second, take the guy out, and I was just like, oh, you got to make that play. You got to get to third base on that.
And Perry will work out a walk. So first walk by Pardo, second base runner. Both of them have been Jake Perry. And Jack Mauser will hit now for Hopkins.
And as much accolade as Perry gets, this guy Mauser here, he's had a heck of a run the past few weeks. And that section tournament, he really lit up the box scores with some impressive at-bats.
Hit a little spinning pop out to the first baseman his first time up, but still obviously a dangerous hitter here. Takes that one for a ball, able to hold up the swing.
Here we go, 7! Go, Pardo! Go, Pardo!
That time he did not hold up, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, good pitch down in the dirt. Nice block by the catcher to keep the runner at first. So he tried to hold up on that breaking ball down in the dirt, but wasn't able to.
That one's a little bit low, and not making excuses for any of the hitters, because some of them have been hitting the ball good, especially Andover, but boy, it's got to be a little difficult. The pitcher's in full sun, and the hitter is in full shade right now.
Yeah.
Hits it hard down the third baseline. That's a fair ball. Perry will dig for third, and he will be in, and into second is Mauser with a double for the Royals, and now they have two into scoring position.
And one of the better hitters coming up to plate again, that top half of the order. And good aggressive base running here by Hopkins. Puts the runner, good read with 2 outs. He's moving on the crack of the bat. He gets over to third base. That left fielder should be throwing that ball into second base. Easily allows Mauser to cruise into second base. And so now they have runners at second and third. And that also keeps them out of the force out at second base.
Mcgee struck out his first time up, and yeah, I would agree that was a slight mistake. I don't know if it's a sure thing that Mauser wouldn't have made second, but
yeah, I mean, I don't know. He probably churns back if they make a good strong throw to second base.
Yeah, I agree. Mcgee is swinging a miss here.
You see a pretty steady dose of curveballs, and you want to keep him down on this guy. Don't want to leave anything up. If it's a fastball, you want to keep it waist or knees below. You don't want to put anything that's with straight near his waist, because he can drive the ball pretty hard and far, and that would make it a one-run game pretty quick.
There's a breaking ball for strike 2.
And it's just it's the change in speed, and it's adapting to, and like you said, the change in the sunlight as well. But that curveball is a lot slower, and it's if you don't pick it up right away, it's going to be hard to line the bat up.
Came back fastball high and away there, and having to pop out of his crouch in a hurry was Myers.
I think that's the first pitch we've seen not really even be close to the plate. So see if you can put that one behind him.
Swing and a miss by Mcgee. It's in the dirt. Myers up with it, and he will throw him out at first base. So Pardo strikes out the side around a double and a walk. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left aboard. As we go to the bottom half of the third, it remains 4-0 Andover here in the state baseball tournament.
If you love them enough to suck the snot out of their nose at 4 a.m., then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Oh, sweetie. Okay, you know what? Let's take off his sweatshirt. Get rid of pictures of him. You don't have to look at him. Goodbye, Dave.
Mom, you don't understand. He's tagged in like 400 of my posts.
I can cut out tags.
No, that's not how it works.
What is a tag?
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care would love to share their first with you.
Welcome back here to Chaska. As you see, the shadows starting to creep out on the more of the infield here, but the pitcher still in full sun.
Yeah, going back to that baseball experience, I think I saw Byron Cosgriff, the Hopkins High School baseball DJ. I think he's picking up some good songs to add to his playlist rotation. He's got a pretty good one there at Hopkins baseball field, but might be stealing some from tonight's playlist.
Logan Meyer, the catcher, will hit for Andover to lead off the third. He popped to short his first time up. Mcgee, it hasn't been easy so far, but still out there working and trying to give his team. Right now, you know, you're thinking, I got to give our guys a chance. I got to kind of see if I can stop the bleeding here and give us a few innings to chip away and get back in this thing.
Yeah, he hasn't seemed to be throwing nearly as hard as I've seen him in the past. And that last pitch, he seemed to throw a little bit more. And I think maybe it's time to, you know, let him not worry about what's going to happen. Just go out there and throw, and hope that your offense can start to put some runs on the board.
There's a strike. 1-2 here to Myers.
He's down 4-0. It could be much worse. But you know, down 4-0 is not a non-insurmountable task for this program and this batting lineup.
Ooh, close one there. Nordine held it in place for a bit. Skied out to short left.
Long run.
Oh boy, that one is going to drop in. Mikalaka stopped. And Myers will be into second with a sun-aided double there. As I think the shortstop just lost that ball, and he looked up and he was hoping that he was going to see Mauser right there, and Mauser was still quite a ways from the baseball here.
Yeah, long run for the left fielder, and you know the shortstop gives up on it, and assumes the left fielder is going to catch it, and then once it drops, it was high enough that the batter had a good break out of the box and was able to get into second base on that one.
And so Mcgee is going to be lifted here. Again, can't really fault him too much for that. It was a sky-high fly ball, but they just want to make a change here and see if they can't kind of get some things going a little bit here. So pitching change, Gabe Olson will come out of the pen here for Hopkins. We'll step aside for a moment here as Andover leading at 4-0, and they get the leadoff runner aboard as well here in the bottom of the third. We'll be right back.
Emotes say a lot, but they can't say it all. Think your guildmate is struggling? Try these dialogue options. Go beyond emotes. Check in with your guildmates at seizetheawkward.org.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Welcome back here to Chaska Athletic Park. A new pitcher in for Hopkins is Gabe Olson. He is 2-1 with one save this year. 23 2/3 innings. He's allowed 25 hits, 9 walks, and 28 strikeouts. And we made reference a time or two in that section final that he was kind of the only pitcher for either team that day that got through things pretty effectively.
Yeah, and that's what Hopkins is hoping here. I mean, like you said, not a terrible outing by the starting pitcher. Things just didn't happen. Not really well executed plays early in the game, and sometimes you just want to make a change, and hopefully the team rallies behind that and has a different mindset and has forgotten about all the bad mishaps that happened so far in this game, and hopefully you can turn things around.
See, Pardo struck out in the first. That was McGee's only strikeout. There's strike 2 as Olsen coming in, and he probably doesn't have maybe as nasty as stuff as McGee or Jackson View that we saw the other day, but one thing he seems to be able to do is shoot strikes pretty well. Hopper to second. Primusberger throws him out. Runner moves over though as Pardo gets the job done there. It's not a sacrifice per se, but it's effectively the same thing. He put that ball in play nicely to the right side.
Yeah, he knew if he puts the ball on the ground to the right side of the infield, he's going to move that runner over to third base. So now if sac flies in play, a pass ball is in play, get that 5th run across the plate for the Andover Huskies.
So runner at third, 1 out, Ryan Coltis, who doubled his first time up. Looks at a ball to start the at-bat here. Hopkins does have the infield in, already trailing at 4-0. They're kind of feeling like we can't really afford to just give up another run here. Obviously that can be dangerous too though, because you
creates a lot more gaps for the ball to get through.
Yeah, you have a lot less reaction time. And this one driven to center, should score the run. Catch is made. Myers will tag and score, and it's 5-0 as Coltis delivers a sacrifice fly to center on a pretty well hit ball. And so 2 gone, but the run does come in for the Huskies, and Davis Goman will bat.
Yeah, good solid contact, drives it to center field. Definitely far enough to get that run in on a sacrifice fly. That's what you call manufacturing a run. You scrap out a leadoff double, move them over on a right hit to the right side of the infield, and then hit a sac fly to center field.
Cut and a miss by Goman, who was hit by a pitch his first time up. And coaches kind of love those things. It just feels, I mean, sure, you'd rather have like a double or home run or whatever, but just when you see kids come up there and do things to get that run in, you really like that, because it just feels like they're a team player when they're able to do that, even if, maybe it wasn't his intent to hit a sac fly there, but it works out so well if you're able to take advantage of opportunities like that when you get them.
Yeah, and that's the beauty about team sports is, trying to get these kids to understand the concept of being a part of a team. And you may be batting 6, 7, 8, maybe 9. You might be a pinch hitter, a pitch runner. But when you're in a position to do something and the coach wants you to execute on it, you do it. Like that grounder to the right side of the infield. He wasn't looking for anything too hard to hit. He wanted to pull it to get that runner over to third base.
Down to short. Mikalakis up with it. Throw across is in time. And so the Huskies are done in the third, but they add another run, 1 run on 1 base hit. No errors and no one left aboard. It is 5-0 Andover through 3.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars. Really tall. I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands? Yes. You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
State High School League, helping students reach their goals in and out.
We head to the fourth inning here at Chaska Athletic Park, and Andover leading Hopkins by a score of 5-0. Jay Wilcox along with Drew Keogh here for CCX Sports and QCTV presentation here of the State Class 4A Baseball Tournament quarterfinal round game. Just about to the end of the spring season. It's a sprint to the finish this last week. We've got state baseball, state softball, state lacrosse, state golf, and state track, all in the 1 week span. Pounded to third. Ooh, it took a bit of a hop there, but nice job to stay with it. And then Coltus will make the tag as Brock Zimmer is out 5-3. It was a couple nice plays defensively there. Graving had to stay with a ball that took kind of a bad hop on him there a little bit, and then Coltus, as the first baseman, the throw brought him off the bag, but he stayed with it to make the tag. Boy, that was not an easy play.
Yeah, I think it caught the lip, and the inside part of the turf there is a little softer. When it gets to the lip, it's harder, and that ball hits it, and it's going to bounce higher up in the ground. Nice play by the first baseman to tag, and good sportsmanship there to realize that he hit him pretty hard, and he just wanted to make sure, hey, it didn't intend to do that, so no hard feelings.
Michalakis, the hitter, drew in a softball game, had a similar play at first, and the runner didn't like it so well when I swept the tag across his chin. You know, inadvertently, it was for real, but.
Did you make a few bad calls on him in a Cable 12 CCX sporting event like 10, 15 years ago?
No, I don't think it was anything like that, but. Michalakis bounced to first in his first at bat. Pardo's only walked one, but he falls behind 3-0 here to the second batter of this inning, and that one's over for a strike. Can't say enough about how impressive he's been so far early on, and again, he's just a freshman.
Yeah, that's impressive to be able to have the confidence, and you know, I mean, for him, he's going out there and throwing. That's what he does. He doesn't know anything different. He's like, I'm going to go play this game and have fun. And for the coaching staff to have the confidence and trust in him as a freshman to go out there is pretty impressive. But obviously, he's shown throughout the year that he can do it, and he's ready to step up there and do it.
One out walk to Michalakis. Jack Primusberger, the hitter, he took a called third strike, his first time up. 6 strikeouts for Pardo in the game here, and 3 1/3. And this one lifted out to center and hit well. Again, the sun's a bit of an issue, but staying with it there is Kyle Law using the glove to shield. You never can tell for sure, but the one thing you can tell is that it's not an easy sun at the moment for that center fielder. But he did a good job of, as I said, using the glove to shield. And, you know, you can do you have the shades, you maybe have the eye black, you use the glove, but there's still sometimes when it can be a problem.
Yeah, and it's hard to practice because, you know, you got to have the sun out there, and, you know, when the sun's not out there, it's almost impossible to practice because you're not blocking the sun. But when the sun's out there, you want to get there and practice, and it becomes routine the more you do it. And it was a nice play there by the center fielder to block that sun.
Swing and a miss by Nordine, and the non-baseball thing, just think about how many times at this time of day you're driving west into the sun and you're like, God, yep. I can't see. Nordine bounced to third his first time up. Takes that one for a ball. Seemed to handcuff Myers a little bit. I'm not sure he wasn't crossed up on that. Didn't get the pitch he was expecting, I don't think, right there.
Yeah, I think he quickly looked over the dugout to let him know, hey, that's my fault. I messed up. I was expecting something else, but I think I kind of had a mental lapse there, and nothing to worry about.
There's a breaking ball for a strike. Nordine feeling otherwise, but got to be protecting now with 2 strikes, even if you get one that you don't think is ideal. And a swing and a miss there by Nordine. And down on strikes as Pardo continues to shine. No runs, no hits, no errors. There was 1 left for Hopkins. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 5-0 Andover.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
And welcome back. There's Luke Nordin, who struck out to end that last inning, and oops, had a little stumble there. He didn't like the previous call, and then the last one there, I thought they just called a swing, but it looked like it made an indication of a foul tip there.
Yeah, there was foul tip, third strike. And the other thing I think he was a little upset about earlier in that bat, I think he was trying to slow down the rhythm of the pitcher as he was trying to quick pitch him. And as a catcher, you pay attention to those little things, and you try and call him out to the umpire because you're back there talking to the umpire the entire game. So you want to let him know, hey, I'm not doing that for them. They shouldn't be doing that to me, so I'm going to let you know when they're doing it.
D'Agostino leading off the fourth here. He had a single his first time up. Takes a strike here, and it's 1-1. Remember, Noah was asked to bunt and then fouled the first one back, and then they let him swing away, and he delivered a base hit to right.
Exactly how the coach planned it.
Fights this one off. Ooh, a bit of a tough hop there, but staying with it was Michalakis, and he will get the out. And so one gone here in the fourth, and the top of the order now coming up, Waddell.
Yeah, again, that turf causing a little bit of excitement for these infielders. Nice play to react by Michalakis to get that ball, and a strong throw over to first base to get the leadoff out.
Waddell's been on twice, reached on an error to begin the bottom of the first and scored a run, and then a two-run single in the second. Andover scored in every inning. The leadoff hitter has been on every inning prior to this one. And that one will be in for a base hit. Driving it into right field as Waddell now 2 for 3.
Yeah, top half, I've been speaking of this Hopkins lineup, the top half of their order, but this Andover team has been pretty aggressive at the plate at the top half, and that's where they seem to be doing their damage. We'll see what they'll do this time around.
Kyle Law, the hitter. In the dirt, and runner will advance. Waddell down to second on a wild pitch. Nordin got most of it, but it kind of skipped away to the left just far enough. Waddell easily advancing.
Yeah, good aggressive base running, but putting himself in a scoring position here.
That one's inside. And what Waddell did there is what you really hope that every base runner does is, I'm going to see when it hits the dirt, I'm thinking I'm going to go until I'm not.
Yep.
You want to be thinking about taking that base.
Secondary lead is what they call it. You want to get a good secondary lead, but not be too aggressive to put yourself in a position to get picked off. But if that ball is not cleanly caught by the catcher, you want to be in a position to get down to second base no matter how far that ball is away from the catcher.
And being a good base runner is not all about speed. It's an anticipation, too, and reading plays. Knocked to second. Primusberger had to fight off a tough hop a little bit there, too. He does get the out on Law, but Waddell will move over to third. This is widely known as a really good field, but there have been a few that have been a little questionable.
Yeah, I mean, the field's in great shape. The turf's clean. The dirt's well manicured. I don't know. That ball took a weird hop and came up, and he had to play it almost up towards his eyes.
So Max Hunter will bat. 2 outs and a runner now at third as Waddell advanced on that ground out. Hunter has flied to center, then flied to right.
Again, going back to your base running philosophy is you want to be aggressive and anticipate. And here's a situation where the runner at third is able to get as far off the bag as the third baseman is, and Perry's playing pretty far off the bag with 2 outs and a left-handed hitter at the plate.
Little dribbler down to first. And the toss it to Olson covering. Zimmer to Olson, 3-1 on the putout. And for the first time, the Huskies don't score. No runs, 1 base hit. No errors and 1 left. We've completed 4 innings here at Chaska Athletic Park. It is 5-0 Andover.
Emotes say a lot, but they can't say it all. Think your guildmate is struggling? Try these dialogue options. Go beyond emotes. Check in with your guildmates at seizetheawkward.org.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Welcome back, and thanks again to QCTV for providing the video for tonight's telecast here, the Andover hometown station, if you will. As we go to the top of the 5th, 8-9-1 spots coming up here for Hopkins. Scarlatti, View, and then Perry. And the first 2 batters were fairly quick victims to strikeouts, but we're going to have a new pitcher out there for Andover as 4 really good innings worked by the starting pitcher Pardo, and then they go to the pen here for Sam Angel. I saw him coming in, from the bullpen, and they were talking to him like, yeah, you're definitely coming in. So Angel is 2-0 on the season. In 15 innings, he's allowed 17 hits, 6.07 ERA, 4 walks and 9 strikeouts.
Interesting decision here for the Andover program to take out a young freshman pitcher that's had a great start to the state tournament here and hand the ball over to another pitcher, but see if it pays off for him. Hopkins not having much luck against Pardo throughout the game, and they weren't able to string many hits together. See if they can do it with the new pitcher on the mound.
2-0 to Scarlatti. And that one hit him. Scarlatti will be aboard. And you kind of wonder, too, a little bit, obviously it wasn't because Pardo was losing effectiveness. So you wonder a little bit if, as you get a look at some of his great curveball strikeouts, you wonder if they're looking ahead to the rest of the tournament a little bit, and can you afford to do that in this spot? But obviously a lot of things go into that. And
yeah, I mean that's the difficult decision in the state tournament. You got to play 1 game at a time. In sections, you can kind of take a little bit more of a risk because you have that losers bracket option. Here in the state tournament, if you lose, you're out of contention for the state title. So it's interesting to see the decision to take a pitcher who's been on a roll and been able to shut down this really dangerous Hopkins offensive lineup throughout the first 4 innings and hand it over to a new pitcher. And rough start for them here.
And it wasn't that he had thrown a lot of pitches necessarily or anything like that either. Jackson View fouls the first pitch back. I feel confident saying Hopkins guys are kind of glad to see somebody different right now. I mean, they were not getting a lot of great swings.
Yeah, and I think that's why we saw them make their pitching change earlier in the game as well, because things just were not going right. So you bring in a new pitcher hoping things, the team forgets about that and has something new to build upon.
That one is in the dirt. Down 5-0. Scarlatti, I think wisely not going to try and gamble on that one.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to run yourself out of an opportunity here, especially with the top, like I've said it many times, but these top 3-4 hitters for this Hopkins offense, if they can string hits together, And that's where the bottom half of the order, their job is to get runners on base, turn the order over to the top so they can put together a nice series of hits and put a few runs on the board.
Charlie Schaefer will run at first for Scolati, so obviously not a courtesy run situation. He's a right fielder.
Interesting to see it done after 2 pitches, but
yeah,
maybe there was a little bit of, hey, where's my helmet? Here, I need something to drink, and after that, we finally get him in the game.
Well, and it looks like Scolati might be heading out to the bullpen. He is a pitcher too, and I think that might be the reason as much as anything. I just speculating here, but it looks like he's headed out that way to loosen up a little bit throwing. There's a strike. Angel, by the numbers, looks like he's been mainly used as a reliever, averaging about 2 innings per outing overall, as that one's line foul.
Yeah, and usually what you'd say at this point in the game is just throw strikes, but you don't want to give up easy hits and let Hopkins build momentum. You want to keep them kind of calm and keep them at bay and don't let them really jump on you and get right back into this game, which they could easily do.
Grounded to short. They're going to have to come to first with it, and a good smart play there to not even think about trying to go to second. Just get that out. All of his momentum is going toward first right there, so I like the decision by Waddell, especially considering the score and everything. That was clearly the play to make there.
Yeah, usually you have your anchor of your infield at shortstop or second base. Try and make the smart decisions, and that's what you like to see your shortstop do, is don't try and force that out at second base, especially when the ball's not hit that hard. You're running in full speed towards first base. It's going to be a really awkward throw. Keep that momentum and make that throw over to first base.
Jake Perry, the hitter for Hopkins, he doubled his first time up and then walked in the third. In the dirt there, Meyer's able to smother it.
You stop by the catcher there. Don't try and scoop that ball up. Make sure you block it and keep it in front of you so that runner doesn't go from second to third.
Outside with that one. So 3-0 now to Perry. First base is open here, and he's done well early on. I don't think they're necessarily by design pitching around him here, though. That'll be ball 4. Perry walks for the second straight time. And Hopkins has a couple of runners on with one out for Jack Mauser.
Yeah, I don't think you're pitching around him, but you're definitely not trying to groove onto him, knowing the kind of swing he has. Don't give him an easy pitch to hit, but definitely tried to tiptoe around that one and wasn't able to get a called strike at all.
Mauser getting set to hit here for the Royals. Little conference on the mound here for Andover, and
Josh, good.
Don't like going with the second guessing, but the lifting of Pardo right now is just, I think, a lot of around the park, a little bit of a
Yeah, and I think that's they're trying to figure out, this is a key spot in the game, and they have another pitcher down in the bullpen. Looks like he's ready to come in at any time here. So if he doesn't settle down and throw strikes here and get outs here, we might see another pitching change, and that'll further push that question of why pull your freshman pitcher who's had such a great start.
So Mauser, who smoked a double last time up. Chance for Hopkins to try and claw back into this one, down 5-0 here in the top of the 5th. And way up and in with that one. Angels not look terribly comfortable out there.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, as a freshman coming in, you were expecting him to have some nerves and some anxiety, but he settled in, threw strikes, and had a good lead, and he was cruising. Now you come in, and the pressure's on this pitcher to throw strikes and keep this Hopkins lineup off the board there.
There's a swing and a miss. And another Mauser had a big rip at that one, and now Angel feeling a little bit better here, 1 and 2.
Yeah, that one's a little too high up towards the eyes, so tough swing to take there, and now he puts himself in a 1-2 hole.
And let's see, did he go around? That pitch is in the dirt. Runner will move from second to third. They appeal down to first, no swing.
Close, very close. They don't have the benefit of replay, and it's such a quick decision and quick play, and fortunately for Mauser here, he lives on for another pitch.
With the naked eye, I would have thought strike.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it looked like he went, but down in the dirt, he got the benefit of the doubt there and stays alive here.
So 2 and 2 now, runners at the corners. Popping this one up. Myers going back for a look and overran it a little bit there in front of that grandstand. He did a good job of getting up out of the crouch in a hurry, but he was trying to, find that screen and then just went a little bit past it.
Yeah, and I don't think it was hit all too high. He picked it up pretty quickly, and you see him do a quick peek down to the ground here about 2 seconds before the ball hit the ground, and he just kind of lost it and wasn't able to re-pick up the ball in the air soon enough. He knows he missed one there. The big hitter at the plate.
I'm always amazed when they can find them as good as they do. And a cut and a miss, and Mauser down on strikes as Angel fighting back hard. Boy, that one, we might think of that one as one of the bigger outs of the game right there. If he had, he was looking like he might lose him, and Mauser had a check swing that they didn't call for a strike, and comes back hard and gets him, and now Mcgee will be the hitter.
Yeah, Mauser had a couple of extra pitches there that he wasn't able to take advantage of, and swung another ball high in the zone and wasn't able to connect, and fortunately settles for a strikeout.
Mcgee has fanned both of his times up. Well, the reason for the stop here, of course, is Mcgee was out of the game as a pitcher, so he's back in as a hitter here. That's why the umpire had to record that on his scorecard. There's the strike, and I think I don't know if it was an actual re-entry or he may have been listed as the DH as was Pardo. Although the lineup we got just said pitcher, not DH. Close, but no for Angel there. 1 and 1.
See Mcgee have some struggles with the breaking ball down in the dirt. I think he missed a good breaking ball belt high in that first pitch, and looking for a fastball here to drive.
Cut and a miss. Angel 1 out, or 1 pitch possibly from getting out of the inning here.
That was the pitch. He had a really good chance to put that one in play. He just wasn't able to line it up. Now he's in a position where he's got to protect. Don't want to take a called third strike here.
And a rip and a miss, and Angel gets the last 2 via strikeouts, 2 of the Royals' better hitters. So in the 5th, no runs, no hits, no errors, and a couple left aboard. We go to the bottom of 5, and it stays 5-0 Huskies.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars. Really tall. I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands? Yes. You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Welcome back here to Chaska Athletic Park, and thanks again to QCTV for providing the video for our cool telecast with them tonight here. It'll be Gravink, Myers, and Pardo, the scheduled batters in the 5th here for the Huskies. And a new pitcher for Hopkins is coming on in relief for the Royals is Sculati, who had been the right fielder. He is 3-2 this year with 1 save. He's worked 22 1/3, allowing 17 hits, 17 walks, 20 strikeouts, a 2.19 ERA. Mcgee now at first base, and Zimmer moves to right field to replace Sculati out there.
Yeah, Hopkins running out of outs here. They got 2 more innings, put some runs on the board. They've scored 47 runs in the 4 games of their section tournament. So far in this first game of the state tournament, they have 2 hits and 0 runs. Not what I was expecting, but great pitching by Andover, and a couple key errors for Hopkins early in the game has put Andover in a good position to move on in the tournament, but still a lot of baseball to be played.
Gravink reached on an error and then popped to short. He is 0 for 2. There's Pete Anderson, the Huskies head coach, and their program, just kind of getting better and better, and coming up with that win over Forest Lake, a sweep actually after they had lost a game in the section tournament. Unlike Hopkins, they did have 1 loss in the Section 7 tournament before battling back.
Yeah, you were saying that we saw them earlier against Armstrong earlier in the season, and we pegged them as a state tournament team for sure after that game. No, it was early in the season. You couldn't really read much of what was going on, and again, for him at that point in the season, for all teams at that point in the season, after having last year off, most programs didn't do a summer program, and then you're not sure what's going to happen in the spring season. You hope you're going to play, but you're not sure. And for them to get out here and try and put a team together, and earlier in the season, it's figuring out who you have in the team, working on the fundamentals, and positioning things for ideally making a section tournament run and getting into the state tournament. Unfortunately for him, it paid off, and it's a great building block for this Andover baseball program.
Inside with that one, and then you like to get greedy once you get there and not just get here but win this first game. And obviously, like you said, we're not done yet, but a good beginning for sure for the Huskies to try and do that with this 5-0 lead. Foul down the left field line will be out of play. Sculati, the 3rd pitcher of the game for the Royals. Mcgee had kind of a tough 2-inning start. Allowed 5 hits, 5 runs, only 3 of them earned though. His errors were definitely a part of those first inning runs. Then Olson came in, did a pretty good job really. And, now the 3rd pitcher, Sculati, walks the first batter he sees, Gravink, and so he'll be aboard, and Myers will be the hitter for Andover.
We've seen this top half of the Andover batting lineup be pretty aggressive at the plate, so see if they put a hit and run, something in play here.
First pitch swinging there, Myers fouls it back. He had a double last time up, although you can almost kind of put an asterisk. That was the one that was lost in the sun in short left field. Still a double, it still counts, but double. It was, Yeah,
it was hit right in between shortstop and left field. Left fielder had a long run to make and wasn't able to come up with it, and he had hustled out of the box, so he had a good chance to run down to second base, and they didn't even make a throw down to second base to try and get him, and ended up at second base.
Strike taken there. And a little flare, that one's going to fall in. Primusberger made a good effort to get back. I didn't think he'd even be close to it. He saw it all the way, but just couldn't quite get there, and it'll be a single for Myers. So 2 on with nobody out here in the 5th for Andover. And Pardo will be the hitter.
Yeah, another one of those hits that wasn't really hit all that hard, but he's able to find some green out there, find some grass, and put it right in front of the right fielder and just over the second baseman's head.
So Pardo pitched the first 4 innings as the DH in their lineup too, so he can stay in the batting lineup. So 0 for 2. Takes that one outside.
You got the third baseman and first baseman rushing in on the sacrifice here. You see the shortstop wheel over and cover third base in case the runner steals or there's a play at third base.
Takes that one for a strike. Yeah, you can just never be satisfied with a, even 5-run lead here. You got to always still be thinking about, we need to score some more.
Yeah, you definitely want to keep, you don't want to slow down at this point of the season. You never want to slow down because these games are what you're played the whole season for.
Outside with that one, and like we always talk about, this game is played without a time clock, so it isn't that you can just kind of slow the tempo and run the ball in the middle of the line and run out the clock on them. You've got to still get these last 6 outs. And so if you're Andover, you still would like to add some more runs. Way outside with that one is Scolati, 3-1.
Yeah, those last 2 pitches have not been very close, and you want to see him kind of, you don't want to groove one here, but you definitely want to throw a strike.
And that one is taken for a ball. Pardo able to hold up. So the base is full now for the first baseman, Coltis. So Andover trying to really break this one open. I mean, 5-0 seems like a fairly good lead, but they could add to that here. There's a strike. Coltis had a double and then a sacrifice fly, so 1 for 1 here tonight.
I mean, it seems like a long ways away, but a couple hits here and they could put this game out of reach or end it.
That's in the dirt. Runner is coming to the plate. Here's the throw, not in time. Gravink will score, and the other runners move up as well on the wild pitch. Pretty aggressive there. Wasn't all that far away, but enough for him to be able to do it. Yeah, even a perfect throw wouldn't have quite been enough.
Yeah, it was a bad break by the pitcher there. He didn't cover the plate right away, and that's one of those things when you go back to base run, you want to get that good secondary lead and anticipate that ball getting away. But also for a pitcher, if you know you're going to throw it a breaking ball or you throwing it low in the zone, catcher could have come up clean with that one, but if you know you're going to throw it low in the zone or you feel you throw it low in the zone, you got to be busting your butt home plate to cover because that runner beat you there. So you had no chance to get the out. You should be able to beat the runner there.
And I think that's probably something that Coach Michalakis is disappointed with there too, is you're always hoping that the fundamental part of it is really done well and done right every time, and it kind of wasn't there.
Yeah, execution was not what you would expect from this Hopkins team, and ball not too far low in the zone. I thought the catcher would have come up with a clean, but
I agree. I wonder if he wasn't crossed up there.
Yeah.
And looking at that replay, that one looked like it probably should have been caught on the fly there. Maybe pass ball more than wild pitch.
Runner running down, still squeeze play.
Squeeze is on, but Coltis fouling the bunt back onto the roof of the grandstand here.
Is it a kind of situation where you want to jump on a team that's really down and put them in a worse spot? And it's not poor sportsmanship. It's taking advantage of you've put your team in a situation to jump on a team and sneak a run. They weren't able to get the bunt down, but I think they had a really good aggressive play there.
Fastball for a called third strike, probably Scolati's best pitch right there. And so they get that important first out. And now Davis Goldman will hit for the Huskies.
He's got a good, solid fastball, pretty good velocity there, and got the called third strike there.
Rip and a miss. Scolati seeming to find himself a little bit. These last couple pitches have been not only nice location, but a lot of heat on him as well.
Yeah, he's throwing the ball pretty hard.
That one's in the dirt. Nordine, a block there.
That's what you want to see your catcher do. A nice stop, nice haircut, good shades. What you want your catcher to look like and act like on that pitch there. That's a nice stop. Sacrificed the body, leaned forward, went down on his knees, and kept that ball in front of him. It's hard to teach. My 7-year-old was asking me, what can I teach him about catching next? And that's it right there, Max.
Rip and a miss by Goldman. So 1-2. Fights that one off over toward his own dugout there.
Keep working, David. Come on, David. Drive that ball. Here we go, 20.
Breaking ball misses. So 2-2 here to the Huskies left fielder Goldman, the number 8 hitter in their lineup. Trying to break this one even farther open. They lead 6-0 here. Runners at second and third, one out. And a liner up the middle for a base hit. 1 run is in. It's overrun by View, and that'll mean 2 runs will score on the play as Goldman coming through with another key hit there for Andover. And they now go up 8-0 here on the Royals.
Infield playing in to cut the runoff at home plate. Routine ground ball just up the middle to the right side. Left side for us, right side for the second baseman. Ball not picked up cleanly. The runner was going to hold at third. He hesitated, but then you see center fielder doesn't come up with it cleanly, puts the aggressive play to send the runner, and they put that 8th run on the board.
Ooh, high and tight to D'Agostino as he ducks out of the way of that one. Does not look like they put it as an error officially on the board, although it possibly could have been, because I agree it looked like they were going to hold that second runner. But
yeah, I think you would assume that run would score in a hit, so that's why it'd be hard to give him an error, but he didn't come up with it cleanly, so it is also a chance where they could call it an error. I'll defer to you on official scores. Sometimes I don't get how they do that stuff.
Strike there to D'Agostino. He is 1 for 2 here tonight. Fouling that one back off the facing of the grandstand there. Chopper fouls, runner was moving there.
And again, regular season, you might question why are you running up 8-0 on a team that has only 2 hits this evening, but you're in the state tournament. You do anything you can to score runs. You don't worry about how many runs your opponent has. You focus on getting yourself runs. When you're in the field, you focus on getting outs.
High and tight with that one, and Nordine trying to tell Scolati, okay, settle down. He's overthrowing a little bit there.
Thumbs up, said I'm good.
Two and 2 pitch here to D'Agostino. He's inside, so the count will run full, and they may very well get Goldman started here from first. Although not getting a particularly big lead. He is going. Pitch is in the dirt for ball 4. D'Agostino going to make the turn and head for third, and he will be in safely. So good base running there. He was running with, or Goldman, I'm sorry, was running there with the pitch. And as D'Agostino walks, Goldman will advance all the way to third.
Yeah, good base running there. He knows he's running on the pitch, so he's got momentum going to second base. He sees it. He's able to peek in and see that that ball gets away from the catcher. He's able to take a pretty big turn around second base. If he's going back, he's going to be safe. But he realizes that once the ball gets to the backstop, he turns and looks, he's going to be able to get to third base pretty easily.
Scolati is going to be lifted as we'll have a pitching change here for Hopkins. Now it kind of comes into survival mode, just trying to get them out of this inning without that 10th run crossing the plate. So a new pitcher for the Royals as Ani will come on. Aaron Ani The junior will come in. We'll take a timeout, come back here. It's 8-0 Andover here in the state 4A quarterfinals.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
8-0 Andover as they try and put this one away here in the bottom of the 5th. New pitcher for Hopkins as Aaron Ani comes in. He's only pitched 1 inning this year, and it didn't go real well. 5 hits and 3 earned runs. 1 strikeout. Comes into a tough spot here as the Huskies have runners at the corners, 1 out. And they're 2 runs away from 10 running the Royals here. Yeah, top of the order up as well. Carson Waddell, who is 2 for 3, also reached on an error.
I was going to say, he can't give up more than 3 runs in this inning, so hopefully he doesn't get to that point and Hopkins can stay alive in this game.
Takes a ball there. Runner from first is going. Pitch taken for a ball.
Hopkins infield backing up. They're going to concede that run if there's a ground ball to the infield.
And it's a liner up the middle. Might score the winning run. Here he comes. Yes, it will. And the Huskies on a line single by Waddell will 10-run Hopkins here in the state tournament. Well, we saw some close games earlier today, but not so much in this one. And Andover, how's that for a tournament debut? They come in and win this one by a 10-0 score.
Yeah, putting their hopes on the shoulders of a freshman coming in. They had some good innings, taking advantage of a couple errors earlier in the game, a couple mishaps for Hopkins, put some runs on, got an early lead, and just continued to ride that wave and come out with a surprising 10-0 victory after Hopkins steamrolled through their section and put up 47 runs. They leave the state tournament here today with 0 runs and just a couple hits, but this Andover team, solid outing, good hitting, good clean fielding, and that's at this point in the season, that's what wins games, is good fundamentals, good execution on the stuff, the plays that you talked about earlier in the season, making sure you take advantage of those opportunities.
So congratulations to the Huskies. You see they will move on to take on Park Cottage Grove as the seeding holds on this side of the bracket anyway in the semifinals Wednesday afternoon. Hopkins didn't look like it tonight, but they had a very good season, and congratulations to the Royals as well for making it to the tournament. Didn't have a very good night tonight, but overall a good season for Hopkins. Thanks also to coaches Pete Anderson and Jason Mikalakis for all the great information that they provided us as well. And thank you so much for watching. That'll be our final baseball telecast here of this 2021 season. Doesn't go so well for the Hopkins Royals, though. Our final score in tonight's game, Andover 10, Hopkins nothing in 5 innings. Thanks for watching CCX Sports.